All right, peace and black power, everybody. I want to welcome you to another NCRBGZ Productions. With that said, with everything that's going on, hold up, let me fix this. All right. With that being said, we got a nice panel set up for the family tonight. We're gonna have a nice discussion. The name of the show is Rioting. Is it helpful or harmful? And what do we do next? Again, the name of the show for the day is Rioting. Is it helpful or harmful? And what do we do next? And like always, I want to thank you for taking the time out to look at our videos. We want to thank you for, taking the time out to watch the playback or even catching it live. Like always, like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment and tell us what you think, because at the end of the day, we all out here just pushing forth this information and trying to help our people. And with that being said, I want to give my panel members the opportunity to introduce themselves to the family.
And this
This is
master
Nick.
you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nick. If this master you, just here for great conversation. That's all.
This is Neb I'm and Ray. I'm here for the same thing Master U's here for. A great conversation. I'm here to listen and learn. And I'm thankful for Brother Xavier for showing up, Nabat, Sean, and Brother Hilton going is free on tonight's show for showing up. And that's all.
Yeah, peace, Raul Bad family. It's your brother in the back, Cafafre Amunraye. I'm just a student teacher, just here, glad to be a part of the discussion.
Yeah, this is Xavier. I'm from Memphis, just here to listen what's going on, see where everybody head at, see how y'all feel about certain stuff. That's it.
This Hilton. I'm from Virginia. I'm just here to be a part of it.
All right, I thank all you brothers for taking y'all time out to join the conversation. And with this being said, we want to jump right in it, because as we can see on the last couple of days, the peaceful protest has turned into something that we call more of a riot. You see a lot of buildings being burnt down. Yesterday, we saw that the police precinct in Minneapolis was burnt down. I think it was the third police precinct was burnt down. And as African Americans, I'm just gonna jump. I'm gonna talk about that. As African Americans, we saw that as a historical event last night to see the actual precinct burning, because what the precinct represents to us historically, it represents tyranny. It represents that, like frustration and anger, because the police have always been a thorn in our sides as African Americans. And we never felt like the police has been here to help us. So seeing a police station burn last night actually felt like a win, even though the police officers hadn't got charged at that time, but just psychologically, that was a big thing to see it burn, because for so long, what that police precinct has represented to us as African Americans from my vantage point. I'm talking about from my viewpoint and the way I see things. So it was a big win, and it was a sight to see, let alone, and I think psychologically that has removed a lot of blockage that has been holding people back. And I really believe that if they don't come to terms with what's going on and understand that change is upon them, things is going to get a lot worse. So, with that being said, my brother Neb Up had called me and said he wanted to, have the show. So I'm gonna let Neb take over, and I'm gonna let you narrate this, brother. I'm gonna get some more people up here while you narrate, but I'm gonna let you narrate it. And I hope we have a nice, good conversation. And everybody, just make sure you're respectful. Understand that just because we have different opinions, it's not nothing personal. We just up here trying to build, and we want to discuss this conversation. We want to discuss rioting. Is it hurtful or is it not?
All Well, the power's in your hands. I'm gonna put the ball in your court. I must go with Hilton. Free. Brother Hilton,
Yeah.
give us your take. Give us your take on the situation, man. What you think about the whole matter at hand right now? I'm gonna go and let's give you the ball, man. Give you 5 minutes. You're gonna explain yourself, man. You know what I'm saying?
So I see where like the protesting and the visuals actually got things accomplished real quick. But on the other hand, the actual burning stuff down, to me, that's just counterproductive because now if you live there, now you got to pay more taxes because they're gonna have to rebuild. Now you can't go to your store because it's closed. You got to go to another one in another community. So it's like it made progress, but there's some stuff that didn't have to happen.
Right.
Okay. How do you feel about the Patriots going up there to Michigan? Hilton.
At the time, I was like, I wanted to do the same thing, but I don't protest to act out, so I just stayed at home because I didn't like the governor just saying, all right, Constitution don't matter. You don't have the right to assemble. You don't have the right to bear arms and protest peacefully. You can't go to church. You can't get it. It's like they just disregarded constitutional stuff, which is supposed to be like the one thing you can't do.
Do you feel like them guys in Minneapolis and Atlanta, Kentucky, and whoever else, you think they're thugs? As President Trump said, do you think they're thugs?
So the people that's actually protesting, trying to make some kind of change, they're cool. But people that's just like you see the video of somebody running in Target and tearing stuff up and setting it on fire. That's some thuggish behavior right there.
Do you feel that business like Walmart, Target, and whoever, Harris Teeter, whoever else out there should get involved? Like when they see injustice, you think they should be speaking out against it?
I know they're supposed to try to. Like I know Walmart, that's what they said they do, but I don't know how much I believe them. Because at some point, the organization is so big it don't care about the local. It's the people in the local that matter. So it ends up being the people that work there have to stand up for their own community.
Any more thoughts?
I just hope the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel or the Mighty Merrimack are not closed Sunday morning.
Can I want to
Go
jump
ahead.
in. I
Go
want
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
'cause I don't think Neb asking the right questions.
I got something to say behind you too,
Yeah.
bro.
All right. So I'm just gonna answer some questions. All right. When it comes to the protest and when people are upset, looting. Let's deal with the looting, right? Well, I don't think these are Black-owned businesses in the first place in the community. So these businesses that are being destroyed, they represent capitalism. Capitalism is part of the reason why we're in this systematic problem that is in America right now. Because in the state of capitalism, you're going to have the haves and the haves not. So you're going to have the top tier, and then you're going to have the lower tier. You're going to have those at the bottom. The bottom feeders is what the top people at the top make all the money off of. The middle class has been wiped out because of capitalism. So capitalism, the businesses represent capitalism. Now, when you're talking about in America, we're dealing with America here. It's only certain things that only certain things that America understands. For one, the country was built off looting. They came here and looted this whole country and took all the resources that was here from the Indians and capitalized off of it. So to say that looting or rioting is wrong, well, this is how they got the country. They didn't come here and peacefully get the country. They took it by force. And not only did they take it by force, all the minerals that was here at the time, they absorbed it because they are spoils of war. When you're in a war and you win the war, whatever is the prize, you take the prize, and it's spoils of war. So when you look at people that are burning buildings down, that's breaking in, stealing stuff, all these stores are what? They have insurance. So the insurance is going to pay back this stuff. It's insurance claims, and it's capitalism. So you look at it, and you look at it from the sense of somebody that's fed up. We've been trying to be peaceful. We've been protesting peaceful. You know, we've been hands up, don't shoot. You know, we've been in the 60s, we just being peaceful and you attack us with dogs and putting water guns and water cannons on us. You know, throughout time, we have always tried to turn the other cheek no matter what happened. No, do not do anything violent. Let's be peaceful. But when you keep doing the same thing over and over again and keep getting the same result, that's the definition of insanity. Insanity is when you keep doing the same thing over and over again and keep getting the same result. You're insane. So if we're going to keep protesting, being peacefully, and not escalating to a point that America hears you, America only things that get America attention is two things: is death and money. Them the only things that get this government attention when it comes to change. It's death or money, because this is a capitalistic society. So when you say they burning down the stores that they got to shop in, well, they don't own the stores in the first place.
Right.
They don't own them. So it's a capitalistic society. If it was black-owned businesses that they're burning down, I got a problem then. But they won't burn it down no mom and pop stores. They burning down capitalistic buildings that really shouldn't be in the hood in the first place, my opinion.
Right.
I mean, look at what they selling them in the stores. And you're talking about an AutoZone, and like, look at some of the stuff that the stuff that was burnt down, like, come on, man, let's be real about the situation. Them businesses are there for money. They're there to make money off the backs of the people. So the people decide, you know what, we mad. Y'all don't want to hear us. We want these cops to get indicted. We don't want this cop. We want these cops, because we are tired of this. This ain't just about one person. This has been going on forever. And the thing is that the internet and the camera has got it. So now we got pictures, we got recordings of it. But just imagine all the years where they didn't have cameras, right, when this stuff wasn't being recorded. And it was just the police writing down a report, him against what the defendant has to say. So now that we're actually recording it and they are still doing this, and now they don't want to prosecute these people. They want them to be able to get off. And then the worst thing about it is we paying these fuckers. Like, let's be real, we paying them. Our taxes pay their salaries. And this is what we are paying them for? We are paying you to kill us. And then after you kill us, we're gonna pay you now to make us the villains. You tear gas us, you shoot us with rubber bullets, you take the money that we're paying you, and y'all go and surround this killer's house to make sure nothing can happen to this man's property, but yet y'all are being paid by our tax dollars. What the fuck are we paying you for? It seems like the whole system is crazy to me. Why are Americans paying taxes that pays the salaries of people that are terrorizing them in their own community, and that they are protecting killers of the community in which are paying their salary? I don't understand this. But yet, when everyday Americans commit these same type of crimes, the police officers do not go to the perpetrator's house and surround the house to make sure that the defendants don't come to retaliate. They don't do that for regular citizens, and the regular citizens are not being paid by taxpayer dollars. So why are they doing it for police officers who are being paid by the citizens? It makes no sense to me at all. What are we doing here? What is the purpose? Like, what are we dealing with? And let me mute my mic.
Right. And I want to add on to what you said, because I was just talking to someone earlier today, and we got into this little heated discussion because he's an old head, you know, and he don't understand these young guys out there is putting their life on the line for us, for, you know, people older than me, you know, and we got to respect that. If you don't respect nothing else, you need to respect that, because they young, they don't know, they going off their emotions, you know, and they don't got no leader. They ain't got no Martin Luther King and no Malcolm X. They out there with their heart, and they may not got it all right and all that, but they standing up for all of us, and we need to support that. And I want to add on to another thing you said about Black business, and that's what I want to say, because it's a lot of business in Minnesota, and it ain't hardly Black businesses in Minnesota. It's some, but like you said, most of these businesses that was burned, it wasn't that many like they trying to make it seem like, you know. And most of it was broken windows and people went and looted some stuff out of there, but you can fix it when you can restock, you know. Some places was burned, you know, but it's not like people trying to make it seem like there's so many Black, where you gonna go buy, you know. The thing about it is, these same people wouldn't even give a Black man a job. You go into these places, they won't even, you don't see Black men working. They refuse to. Only time they hire you in these like Black men in Target or stuff like that here is to break your damn back down, treat you like a slave, you know, have you doing all kind of shit that they don't want to do. So it's like, those are not our businesses, you know. And sometimes, you know, you have to do the wrong things for the right reasons, you know, and we got to respect that, because we can't be, you know, one thing about Black people, they're so conditioned to slavery that they hate to break out of it. You know, they want, you know, you gotta be non-violent and you gotta do this. Well, Martin Luther King was non-violent. Malcolm X was pro-violent, right? Both of them caught one in the neck. So it didn't matter, you know? So it don't matter what we say it is, you know, whether you want to be pro-violence or non-violence. The thing is, they still view you as the same. If they was out there protesting peacefully, it still would be reported at the same thing. Thugs, you know, this and that. So we got to look at that, man. These kids out here on the front line, you know, and people need to, it's almost like Black people care more about these stores, these buildings, than they do life. But one day you might have some police with their knee on your neck, and you might and your family might want to go burn down a damn building to be heard. Is that wrong? You know, if no one, you know, who telling you that that's not wrong? It's not like they're hurting other Black people. Not one person. They haven't reported one protester hurting anybody else. There's no casualties or nothing like that's been going on. So I think that speaks for itself. And believe me, they would want to tell those lies. And then today, they even arrested the news guy after they told him to be there. You know, Black dude.
That was scripted, man. That was scripted. I'm sorry.
You get what
I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. But that script with that brother from CNN, and because when they listen, if you look at that video, that sister that they locked up, what was she doing before they came? It's like she was just standing there. When the camera go back, it's like she started running back. But what was she doing before they came?
Right.
Man, that shit was scripted all day long. I don't care. I'm sorry. I hated it. It was scripted, man. You can look at it and you can see how when they came running out and when the camera panned back, that girl started running. But who else was behind them?
Right.
There wasn't nobody else behind them but that one girl. And, and she didn't start running until the camera looked at her. You saw her like run like 3-4 steps. So it's like, come on, man. That shit was, look, I'm sorry. It was staged, man. And I can't nobody make me think. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry, brother. I shouldn't have cut you off. Let me mute my mic, but man, that shit was staged, man.
Minnesota is one of the racist states. I don't, you know, it's one of the racist states. It's a lot of money in Minnesota because they're gonna rebuild this shit up. And y'all gotta fail to realize that this shit was already, these people already was fit to file bankruptcy. These business was not really open. That's what people not really understanding. So that's what I understand. They act like these businesses was open. No, these businesses was they was not even really open. How in the hell they gonna go, oh, you burning down the businesses? They wasn't even open. These people about to go in bankruptcy anyway. So it's like, you know, we need to start thinking how they trying to flip the narrative and make it seem like, oh, they burning down buildings and all of that. Black people's not burning down no buildings. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that. You know, and then but people think they are, but they're not doing that. You know, when everybody I talk to that's been down there at certain times says that white boys have said they gonna burn it down. They was even talking about going to the zoo. They said we finna go to the zoo, and the black people's like, who? Ain't nobody finna go to no damn zoo, let no animals out of there, you know. And they didn't go, you know. But I'm just saying, man, those businesses was already not even open. Target was open, I think, like 3 hours or 4 hours a day or something. You know, it wasn't even that long. So it's not really, they was already in a shutdown. So how is all these businesses supposed to be thriving business in the community when they wasn't even open anyway? And these people's about to lose their business anyway. To me, that part is scripted. You know, these white boys inciting this. Of course, black folks, if you got to deprive people, you know, because they ain't giving black men jobs. That's the whole thing. If you come to Minnesota, they treat black men like shit. They follow those same stores that people talking about, all the businesses, they follow you around in those stores and treat you like shit, like you're a dog in them stores. So that's why I said, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, they got insurance and all that. They're gonna build it back up big and better. But that's the whole thing. These people, they think that this is just black folks doing this, man. Believe me, and that's what I was saying before. That part is scripted out, and black people getting the blame for it. Now they going in there and getting them some Nikes and shit and some cell phones if they got the shit open. But they're not. They didn't initiate that. You get
That's
what I'm
the big problem. Like that, the crime. There's an optic when you participate in the crime on national TV.
But see, you got to look at it like these are bait, man. These dudes is 15 to 24, 25 years old. You get what I'm saying?
But good people don't steal.
But let's reverse it. What about when the white boys had them AK-47s and went bust the windows and the doors down and went off and took possession of the Capitol building? Y'all remember that? Nobody said nothing about that. They didn't talk about the white, you know, those people. When white people riot, all the time, white people riot to tear up the city, burn cars, burn buildings, bust with, y'all know, even when they team lose a game or something, they riot. Nobody says anything. But this time, a person is rioting and protesting for black people injustice, but it's a problem. You get what I'm saying? So that's my thing, you know. And it's always, you know, a lot of our people saying, "Hey, we should be this way and we should march straight in a line." You ain't gonna march. If somebody go slap your mama, what you gonna do? Somebody, you got kids, somebody go do something to your kids, what you gonna do? If a police do something to your child, what you gonna do? You can walk there straight and narrow line and hope that you get justice by the system. But what if you're not getting no answers? What if they, you know what I'm saying? So what are you gonna, as a human being, a dog will protect his cub, an animal will. But why when a black person get fed up and they lash out, why is that wrong? To me, that's not wrong. That's a normal human response. You know, and then you got to look at it. It's not just this case. They treat black people like shit here. The police system treats you like shit every day. Every day. This is what they do. That's why you have a lot of people that's coming out because they treat them like shit too. You know, so it's not all like people think, oh, just businesses only. No, it's not. It's, you gotta look at it in a way of a simple. You know, if it been your child, if the police did something to your child, would you be mad at the police and they're not giving you no answers and acting like you ain't nothing? You get what I'm saying? So you would be upset, you'll be mad. But you know, and if they keep pushing you and doing this they laid a boy down in Minneapolis right in front of the precinct and blowed his brains out in 2017. They didn't even charge that dude with nothing. They handcuffed the dude and blowed him, laid him on the ground and shot him in the back of his head. This is what I'm talking about. This is a lot. And it's a lot of oppression. And I told people before, Minnesota is a pot ready to blow because it's multicultural and there's a lot of racism goes on here. And you can say that it is, and I'm gonna just say this, you can say that they should be acting a certain way, but if you keep poking and poking and poking and poking, people gonna pop. And when the lid comes off, you can't put the lid back on. You got to deal with that smoke. You got to deal with it. You got to say, you know what? They wouldn't have been looting. They wouldn't have even done this if they had got justice.
So if the situation is so bad, why do people stay there?
So let me flip that. Can I jump in, OG? Whoever talking? Can I jump in on there? You mind? Or you want to speak, OG? If you want to speak, Sean, I'm calling you OG, Sean. Or if you want to speak, go ahead. Or
let me say this. You said it was so bad, why people, where you gonna go? Because we know this happens everywhere. Where you gonna go? You gonna leave America? Where you gonna go? You gonna run from justice and you gonna run from racism and hate and 400 years of oppression? Where you gonna go? Because you don't.
I have lived in.
You don't own no banks. You're not financing anything.
I done lived a blessed life in several different cities in Virginia, and I don't have any of these problems.
You might not have a problem because you might not have the type of, you might be in the country with not too many people around you. But we're in the city. And if you go to Los Angeles, they have the same cry. If you go to New York, they're having the same cry. If you go to Atlanta, they're having the same cry. If you go to North Carolina, they're having the same cry. Mississippi, they just killed 11-year-old boy, shot him in the head. Where you gonna go without these people doing this to you? You can't blame the victim. They the victim of circumstances. And it's just like everybody can blow their lid, but a black person.
I feel like as an individual, though, we all have the opportunity to improve our circumstances. Like Deb knows where I live.
I'm asking you this question. Had not been this riot, do you think charges would have been filed on the people?
What is that?
If this riot did not happen, do you think the Minneapolis police would have filed charges on this police officer?
I think once that video got out, it was gonna happen.
We saw that. Remember the dude Castile got murdered live, shot down live on Facebook. You remember that? This is what I'm talking about. And he didn't do no time. They didn't do nothing to that man. So this is what I mean, I don't know if you know the history of what's going on, but this guy was a school teacher. He had never been to jail. And they came across, this looked like a suspect. He got a wide nose and big lips. This is what the police officer said. And they shot this boy while he was in a seatbelt. Man, this is what I'm saying. I think people think they can run from the problem. That's what's happening. No one wants to deal with it because it's ugly. And yeah, things may get burned down, people get hurt, and people may get killed. But you have to deal with the problem. You can't keep cutting the tail off the fish and think you're going to stop it from stinking. You got to deal with it.
Yeah, let me add on by everything Brother Sean said. That I agree with. Now I can't remember who the other brother is. Say he lived in Virginia, never had a problem. Brother, I'm gonna say this to you out of love, man. But like you definitely have you have some blinders on. I don't mean that as an attack, but you have some blinders on. These things may have not happened to you, but it happened to your people. And so if my when something happened to somebody that's my people, I feel that. And so just because something ain't happening to you, if something happening in your neighborhood, then you live in a neighborhood, you are part of that community. So your heart should go out, your heart should. You know what I'm saying? You may be different. Your heart should go out between that. I know plenty of people who live in Virginia who had different stories. I had a cop pull a gun on me, tell me, he said, I'll kill you. Put a gun in my face. Get what I'm saying? I've been stopped with my kids with 2 tactical police who who flanked me. I ain't never ain't do nothing wrong. You get what I'm saying? And I had an issue with a whole. Well, it took about 20 police to go and sustain my wife, and when she ain't doing it wrong, and she a pregnant woman. Get what I'm saying? So that's your experience. Like you have an anecdotal experience. I have an anecdotal experience. But for you being a Black man that lives in America, your viewpoint on things should be totally different. Now I get what you saying. They shouldn't be tearing the city down. I feel that they should have some type of plan or action of what they're gonna be doing. But like my brother said, if you keep doing certain things to me, my thinking is gone. So I have no other recourse but to react. That's all I have. That's all I have to do because y'all not listening. If I go to school every day and this dude keep picking on me and nobody pay attention to me, the next time he do it, I'm gonna flip out. I'm gonna tear the whole classroom up. But I've tried to warn you all over so many times. Black people protest. Get what I'm saying? Doing little peaceful marches, all this type of stuff. And whenever Black people do those things, there is never a recourse. And you talk about Black people leaving and go where? Where are Black people gonna go that they safe? Like I've been because in Africa, it goes down in Africa too. It goes down in Europe. There be some people who come on this live, ask Stuart, who talk about things that happen in Europe. No matter where you go, them things are going to happen to you if you're Black. Now you may be somebody like you to where things never happen. I'm not gonna knock that. If nothing don't happen to you, brother, that's great. You got to deal with it. That's wonderful. That is a great thing. But I will tell you, man, it will happen to someone that you care about. And I'm not saying that to put it out there, but it will happen to someone that you care about. I guarantee you that every Black family in America, there's somebody in there that probably had something happen to them due to the color of their skin. And if you sat down and talked to some of your people, I guarantee that there's at least one person in your family that's been affected by that. And so if you claiming that if you are Black and we are supposed to be your people, then your heart should go out to them. If you're saying Black people should do something different, then show us how we can do something different. Won't you take charge and lead that stuff? It's easy to criticize, brother, on the sideline when you saying ain't nothing happened to you. It just sounds like white people be like, oh yeah, we got Black friends, but hey, it looked like he could breathe, so he's fine. It looked like he can breathe. No, but you got so many Black friends, no, step up and say something. It's easy to say on this side of the fence when things are not directly affecting you, but I can promise you, brother, these things are directly affecting you because you are Black. You are Black in America. You are Black in Africa. You're Black in Asia. You're Black in Europe. You are Black. You are. And so you may not think something affecting you, but if you have kids or your grandkids, kids or kids, whatever, it's going to affect one of them. So the best thing that I'm not putting the onus just on you, the best thing that all of us could do is stand together and get this situation right. Now, right now they're tearing stuff up, but I hope after this that there is a logical way to help go and solve this problem, a logical way to kind of help go build their own neighborhoods up. We get what I'm saying? A logical way to say, hey, look, How about we have our own black lawyers who do X, Y, and Z? We have black banks. We have these things put in place. So when these things happen, we don't have to tear up a city. We can go about it a different way. But right now, we don't have the X amount of power to do something. So they're like, well, I don't care. I'm gonna burn the police station down because dude just got shot in the head. What am I gonna do? And the whole I mean, we can go through history, man, the things that happen to black people, and no one turns a blind eye. Oh, slavery was 400 years. Oh, it was X amount of years ago. That stuff don't happen today. It don't happen today. It happened every single day. Every single day, something happened to black people. Every single day. And all these friends, people claim they got all these people that's in black neighborhoods or all who are not black. When these things happen in black neighborhoods, 99% of the time, them people don't stand up for you. You are on your own. As Dr. Henry Clark said, what did he say? He said, as a black person, you have no friends. You don't have none. You don't have them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And what I'm saying, brother, is not an attack. It is something that I want somebody, if I'm wrong, somebody will tell me like, brother, look, what you're saying is wrong. And I want you to understand, brother, these things do affect you. You probably just choosing to turn a blind eye and kind of deferring it off. But to see someone of your color, like Ahmaud Arbery, run down the street and a dude to shoot him, 3 dudes follow him and shoot him, that don't bother you. The dude who's in the car with his girlfriend, with his daughter in the back seat, he told the police officer, I have a license to carry. I have a license to carry. The officer still pulled out his gun and shot this dude 2 or 3 times. And for that not to bother you, because it don't directly affect you, for a police officer to put their foot on somebody's neck, get what I'm saying? And then they say, oh, we don't have any evidence. For this stuff that happened every single day to black people. They even been stories I found that black people being hung in some southern states to this day. And to say that stuff don't affect you, there's something wrong, brother.
So do we only care about black people?
But you know what I'm gonna tell you to that response? When one of them gonna come and care about me? when them cops that was sitting around when that man had his, when all them cops were white, am I wrong? Am I right? And was one Asian cop there. When did one of them come and say, hey, get up off this guy? They didn't say that, did they? When they hung them black people back, back in the day and stuff happened to black people now, when Ahmaud Arbery was getting shot, did one of them white guys there say, hey, let's stop?
But in general,
none
of
them,
like not talking about bad cops, like in general, do we only care about black people?
I'll answer that question for you. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, hell yeah. Listen, let me ask you a question. When you in your house, right? Do you worry about your neighbor house or do you worry about your own home first? When you in your house with your family, do you take care of your family first before you worry about your neighbor house, or do you worry about your neighbor house before you take care of your own house? Who house you gonna take care of first?
The neighbor don't exist.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, when you used to stay beside neighbors, who house you take care of? Every person take care of their own house before you can worry about somebody else's house. So I can't be worried about the Chinese people when I'm African American because we have to take care of our house first. Like, you can't worry about the next door neighbor house and your house is messed up. You can't be like, yo, man, you need to cut your grass and your grass in your yard is 6 feet high.
So
it don't make sense.
Technically, everybody lives in the house. Like there's white people in the neighborhood, black people in the neighborhood.
Come on, listen to what I'm saying.
Hispanics
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying before you respond. I know you listening to respond. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when let's say deal with cutting grass, right? Your yard is 6 feet high, and you telling your neighbor that he need to cut his grass. Does that make sense? First, you need to make sure your yard is cut before you try to tell your neighbor to cut his yard. So when I'm talking about your house, meaning I'm talking about that's your family. That's your intermediate family. You're going to make sure your family is good before you worry about another family. You're going to make sure your children is eating before you worry about the next kid eating. That's what I'm saying. That is natural in life. A lion only worried about that lion and that pride. When lions run into other lion prides, what they do, they fight because you worried about your pride. Even animals, when you dealing with your pride or your group of people, that's what you worry about. Right now, we're worried about us. We're worried about African Americans. We're not worried about Caucasian, Europeans, goddamn Spicks, Chinese. I don't give a fuck. We're not worried about them. Right now, we worried about Africans or who we consider Africans in America and Africans in the diaspora. That's who we're worried about. And there's no reason to be ashamed. There's no reason to be ashamed because you worried about your race. Why are you ashamed to be worried about your race? Why do we got to play the everybody card where it's all about, it ain't all about everybody right now because everybody ain't being gunned down by the cops constantly. You know, when that black cop killed that white woman in Minneapolis, them white folks didn't have to ride. Why they didn't ride? Why you think they didn't have to ride and burn nothing down when that Somalian cop killed that white woman? Why you think so? Because they arrested his black ass. And it wasn't no DA in them. They didn't take it through the same protocol this shit is going through. It was a different protocol. When they showed it on the news, they automatically was like, oh, he was wrong. Like the news played it totally different. It wasn't no riots. Why were no riots? Because they arrested his black ass. But yet when it comes to African Americans, it's somehow, no, it's different. No. You can have armed militias going into the, like you spoke earlier about your constitutional rights, right? So what about our constitutional rights? We don't have the same rights that everybody else have.
We do.
We don't have this because it seems like when it comes to African Americans, our constitutional rights ain't the same as everybody else. We still 3/5 of a human according to the Constitution. If we want to talk about the Constitution, so how can we talk about, well, they taking our constitutional rights away from us by not letting us go to church and by making us stay at home, but yet for African Americans, we was told that what's that there's no law that the black man have that the white man gotta I'll pull it up now, but it says that it's no law, something that the white man have to hear by, that the black man, some shit like that. And then the case with the black guy and his slave master was never overturned. Like this shit is in law, man. And we still consider 3/5 human. So how can we talk about the Constitution on one hand, but yet we can't talk about Aubrey Amari? What about his constitutional rights? What about Sandra Brand constitutional rights? What about Trayvon Martin constitutional rights? What about Emmett Till constitutional rights? Oh, when it comes to black folks, our constitutional rights ain't the same as other folks. Or if it is the same, it's interpreted different and it don't get applied the same. Hell yeah, it's all about black people. That's who we worried about. Fuck the goddamn everybody else. I said it. We worried about black people.
So I think that's the disconnect. I see my family and my friends and then everybody.
But you worried about your family first, right? You don't put your friends before your family, do you? You don't put everybody before your friends, do you? It's for order. Even you and yourself, the way you stated that in order. My family, my friends, and then everyone. So even you have an order in which you do things.
Yep, pretty much.
So what's the problem then?
I just don't see it. So like if a random person like 1,000 miles away, something happens to them, it ain't automatically like they're not my family. Just because they happen to be black too.
What it is that that's where you have to disconnect that you don't look at black people as your people.
No, what he's saying is he don't look at them as his immediate family. I understand where you're coming from because all skin folks ain't kin folks. I hear you, bro. But see, this is what you're not understanding when we're talking about rioting now and the looting. So you gotta understand this is a built up thing that has been going on for a generational time. This ain't something that has just happened. This is generational. This has been going on forever. We can go back to our grandparents and they can tell you stories of like where in certain parts of the town, they couldn't even cross the railroad streets. Over here in the Hosky in the 60s, they couldn't even go over the railroad tracks. or they're gonna get home because that's the white part of the town. Even the police officers over here in the 60s, they couldn't arrest white folks.
I've
How can
seen
you
some
have a
stuff.
police?
I've seen some stuff personally, but nothing. I guess I'm thick-skinned. That stuff don't really bother me because it's just words.
No, but see, words and actions are two different things. So when you're talking about words, everybody can take words, but people are being killed. It's not words, these are actions. And these are deadly actions that should have consequences when other people commit these actions. And I can't believe that you honestly don't see why African Americans are fed up with what's been going on as far as police officers killing us or harming us or roughing us up or treating us different than they treat other races. I really don't believe that you don't see this. I really believe that you don't want to acknowledge it because it's Ray Charles see this and he blind. Anybody can see this shit. You can smell this. So me personally, I think that you don't want to acknowledge it, and I believe you probably a Christian. Am I correct? Are you a Christian?
Yep.
Yeah. That's Paul. That's Paul teaching. That's what that is. You following Paul, brother. You need to start back following Jesus and stop following Paul. Paul, the one that came with all that other stuff. Paul changed the teachings of Jesus.
Right.
So you need to go back to following what Jesus and Yahshua was teaching in Genesis and the Old Testament and leave that New Testament stuff alone because that New Testament is Paul teachings. And you need to go back to Jesus because Jesus said he didn't come to do away. He came to fulfill. And I think that's what got a lot of black people messed up is religion also. Not only Christians, Muslims too. Because that we all family. Jesus said, stay out the way of the Gentiles. I bet you call yourself a Gentile. Let me leave that before I go into religion. Let me get out of this, man. Y'all, somebody jump in, man. Let me read my mind, man.
I want to ask you a question, and I was trying to ask this question before. Do you look at black people as being your people?
I just look at everybody as being my people.
That's what I thought. So that's why I asked you because you look at white people and your Mexicans, everybody's your people.
Yeah, there's people like-minded, people with the same beliefs and interests, likes. They're all close to me. And then there's people, regardless of race, that ain't close to me. The only people that's default close to me is like blood relatives.
I'm gonna say this too. What's your name, brother? What's your name?
Hilton.
Hilton. Let me say this, and this master you, man. Like, first of all, let me just say this, bro. Like, what you're saying, I understand. Like, I get it. I have people of all races that I work with, people that I care about. I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is, I care about everybody. Why do I have to pick one group of people? I understand what you're saying. So let me just first say that, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I understand your sentiment. I really do. I really do understand what you're talking about. Like, I genuinely, I do. Like, hey, look, these people, my friends. I got love for my friends. We went to school together, or whatever we did together. This person been with me my entire life. This is my homeboy, my homegirl. They black, white, Chinese, whatever. I understand I get it. I understand what you're saying. And the way that you feel, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. Let me just say there's nothing wrong with it. Get what I'm saying? But, and there is no but. I just want to say there's an and to it. There's an and to it. Out of all those people, black people are the one at the bottom of the totem pole. It's a black people house that's on fire. And just like you just said, if somebody called me and said, hey, Master, my mama's sick and your mama's sick. I'm going to, before I go, and this could be, and before I go to check on that person's mother, I'm going to go check on my mother first because that's my mama. Now, after I get her situated, then I can come and help my friend. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's what, and I could be wrong, I think that's what at least is what I'm saying. It's hard for me to go and help somebody else when my house is not even straight. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard for me, but for me, that's hard. I don't see other people getting shot down, blown in the head by police every single day on TV. And so I got to make sure my people are okay first. Not saying that I couldn't or it's not what I said. Get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is I have to go make sure that my people are okay first. And once I can do that, then I have the room and the power to be able to do something else. Right now, black people really ain't got the power to help nobody, not even themselves. And so any power I get is the first thing I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna go help my people. But what you're saying is like, look, I'm a genuinely good human being. I don't hate nobody. That's what you're saying. And I what you're saying, I get. That is an admirable way to be. And in a perfect world, what you're saying is cool. In a perfect world, but we're not living in that, man. We not. We getting killed like for anything. Yeah, there's black on black crime, and I can go on that and how that's really a misnomer. But like everybody killing us, man. Even in Chicago, man. Like, was it in Chicago when the black people had a protest because how the Chinese guy had beat the lady in the store?
Right.
Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember when that happened?
I remember, man. I just muted my mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that stuff happened. All this stuff happened all the time. So let me just like I said, brother, like, yeah, like what you're saying in a perfect world, in this great world, everybody love each other. There ain't no racism. Everybody's cool. The cop treat everybody with respect. That's what people out here fighting for. But before anybody get respect, let's like everybody else has respect, but that's black people. Yeah, I can have a friend that's Chinese or a friend that's whatever. It don't matter what they are. They have their own communities. Everything is situated, but mine is not. So the first thing I got to do is not that I don't have no love for you. I got to go make sure that my people are straight first, man. And for me, that's my mentality. Not saying I can't work with nobody, doing none of that type of stuff. That's not what we're saying. But what I am saying is I got to go make sure these people are straight. I got to go make sure that the next black man is walking down the street that don't nobody see him or her as a threat, and somebody want to choke them out or shoot them because they black. No, sir. I got to make sure that these black women and my black kids and Set Haru black kids when they come home going off school, I need to make sure that they feel straight and that nobody, no cop, no nothing's gonna come and blow their head off. No, I got to make sure that you feel okay. And once I got you situated, I can move on with my life. But until then, this is where I'm at. That's my piece.
Brother Xavier, you got anything to say, man? Brother Xavier. Can't hear you. Your mic, man. Your mic. Can't hear you. No, man. It's not you. You got the window roll run up. Something. No. On the
I don't know that kid.
Can't hear you, man. No, man, you got the headphones put on or something?
Nah, I don't know.
I don't know the word in the background.
Yeah, sound like he outside, but he inside. Tell him to leave out and come back in. Xavier, leave out and come back in, bro. Hey, Neb, don't you want to see if anybody else want to get up here, man? Because I don't want to seem like we jumping on my partner, man. I respect the brother. I know where he coming from.
I told Hilton to bring some of his friends up here, man, including the white friends, man. We ain't mean, man.
Hey, Hilton, have you been in the military? You're a military kid?
My daddy was in the Marines.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't really see that part of life though.
But did you? So you didn't grow up with your father, or did?
So
or y'all?
He was already out by the time he had me.
Oh, okay. All right. I was in the military, so like when I joined the military, I had white people that I would die for, that I still know today. That when we was in the military, I would have took a bullet for them, or I would have took a bullet for them. I called them my brothers when we was in the military, and I meant that. Because at the time when we was put in war situations, no matter who your battle buddy was, that's who your battle buddy was. we was at war, and at war, I was willing to die for them because, and like some of them had never met a black person a day in their life. One named Joe. If Joe ever look at, he probably don't deal with me no more because he may think I'm radical, but some of them still follow me. White boys, I'm talking about that. We grew up together in the military, and like Joe was one of them that has never met a black person a day in his life. Like to live somewhere that you never met a black person, only seen him on TV. I met the white boy. I met the brother. I call him my brother because me and Joe went way back. He took me to all the way. Where did he stay in Wyoming to meet his parents? To his town, and in the town that he stayed, it was only one black couple that stayed in their town, and they wasn't racist. But what I did see there that was different than what happened in my community, I can speak on. Like when they used to go to the clubs, when we would go to the clubs in his hometown, and they would fight. They didn't call no cops. Well, no cops called when they fought. If they broke a table, they would pay the fine, pay the fee, and that was the end of it. Well, no police call, but in the black neighborhood, let something happen. Cops call left and right. I mean, I remember we go to the club, they get drunk and fight each other, tear a table up or something. They just have to pay the amount that the table costs, pay for the bills, whatever, and keep on partying. But we didn't get that same treatment. I mean, we used to ride around in Wyoming, shooting the gun out the car, shooting at stop signs. I'm saying some of the shit that we used to do, there's no way in the hood we was able to get away with that stuff. It was no way possible that they used to let us get away with it. But we became real good friends. One of them, Andre Bork. Bork we still communicate with each other. And I'm still the way I am. I'm pro-black all day, every day. But I was willing to die for these white boys because we was in the military and we grew up 4 or 5 years together. We was always with each other. But reality stuck in once you get out of the military. And now you have to deal with society of what you in. We just playing the cards that we dealt. And that's all it is. It's nothing personal. I still talk to Boyd. I follow him and Joe and their children. And when they do good things, I congratulate them. But when it comes to issues of what's going on in the world, and if it's unjust, it's unjust. It don't matter white, black, yellow, or brown. If it's unjust, it's unjust. And that's where we started fouling out when I started calling out certain shit, and they wouldn't agree with it. They would nah, they was a little hesitant to agree with it. But over the years, their ass is coming around because they not bad people. See, this is what I don't think you understand. When we talk about, we're not saying all white folks is bad, because I got some white folks, like some of them, especially the one named Whitlash, Kurt Whitlash, shit, that white boy, he cool. When I'm saying he cool from the top, ain't no racist bone in that boy body. But he understand racism, and he not afraid to call it out for what it is and talk about the honest truth. We have to be honest, because not only has black people been brainwashed in America, white people have been brainwashed also, because they've been taught these fairy tale lies about history that big them up, not even understanding their true history. So everybody has been messed up, but you have to call it for what it is. A spade is a spade. A damn club is a club. A diamond is a diamond, and a heart is a heart. Is what it is. And what you see in America is blatant. Everybody in the world can see it has been a problem in America with the black man since they brought us here. It's systematic. It's not, and that's why I keep saying this is not an individual thing. This is a systematic thing that has been going on. And now let me show you, I asked you earlier about the slaves, the police officers, and where the concept of policing come from. I'm about to show you. Let me share my screen. It was called slave patrols, man. Even the sheriffs, originally the bounty hunters, all this come from catching slaves. So the whole concept of policing came from slaves and catching runaway slaves. Let me share my screen. Here we go, right here. Slave patrols. This was in July. This is a recent edition. In early form of American policing. Let me see if I can move. I'm not going to read all this. You can Google this and look it up yourself, man. But this is where the concept of policing came from, was catching slaves, even before there was bounty hunters. This is where the bounty hunters and all that came from. Look at the slave patroller's oath in North Carolina, 1828. This is what they say. You guys said this is 1828, but they had slaves here in the 1700s. So, you know, this is not the beginning oath. But look, I do swear that I will search for guns, swords, and other weapons among the slaves in my district faithfully and as privately as I can, discharge the trust reposted me as the law directs to the best of my power. So help me God. This is one of the slave patrollers' oath, but this like it was slave patrollers way before 1828. This is just an article I went and picked up. In Massachusetts and up north, they had policing, but the concept of this was to apprehend runaway slaves. This is how the police force have morphed into what it is today. I just wanted to show that. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I just wanted to show you that. So you can look this up yourself, man, to see that the history of policing and where it originated from. It was to catch slaves, man. So we can understand now why we as African Americans have a disdain for the police force, understanding what the origins of that police force was to catch slaves. And we wonder why they treat that black man the way they treat them. Even you got police officers that'll tell you that even in the police academy, they racism. Even in the military, it's racism. I can tell you that. Firsthand experience. Even when you join the fucking military, it's racism in the military also. Hands down, there's no way you can dispute this if you have been in the military. Talk to any brother that's been in. They'll tell you it's racism even when it comes to getting promotions as far as your rank. You got to be a coon. You got to be the yes sir, kiss ass type that I want. That's why my rank never got above E4. Because goddamn it, I won't play. It is what it is. It's the truth though. I never got over on E4. Sergeant, I mean, your specialist. Shit, I won't kiss nobody ass. But that's real though, man. So racism is everywhere, brother. And I just don't want you to be blind from it. Do you got any children?
No, sir.
Oh, that's another reason. Okay, yeah. So you kind of young?
Nah.
Okay, well, yo, wait till you have some kids, man. Because as a father or as a parent, when you're a father, you look at things a lot different, man. And you have to teach your children, especially if they brown, you have to teach them to understand. Like, man, you went to school, you were taught Christopher Columbus found America, right? Weren't you taught that?
It's
No, they still,
Amerigo Vespucci and
yeah,
the Vikings first, though, really.
no, America Vespucci is the one they named America after.
But
And
the
that's the
Vikings,
area,
the Vikings found it first, really, though. It was what was that guy's name?
Well, I'm saying, what do they teach us though about Christopher Columbus?
I don't even think they teach it anymore.
No, yes, they do. They still teach it. But the American Vespucci guy, that's the part in between Texas and South Texas. That's between South Texas and Mexico. That area is where he came in. That's where it came from. That's that one little area though, coming from Mexico up into Texas. That's that little area where the Mayans and the Incas and all of them was located at historically. Well, maybe not the Incas, but the Mayans for sure. But they teach that Christopher Columbus found America, man. You know, that's why he got his still day, Columbus Day. They still teaching that. And we all know that. And you talking about the Vikings didn't even found this place either. The Vikings didn't find America. It was
How you feel about him, Hilton? How you feel about Columbus, man? Was Columbus a great
Hey,
man?
hold up. Let's no. We got to get past this Viking thing. He gonna learn today. You go listen. The Vikings. Hey, look. What time period did they tell you the Vikings found America?
Well, let me Google it real quick.
Google
It's like
it.
1418.
The Vikings, right? Where the Vikings come from?
Northern Europe.
Northern Europe, right?
They
Okay.
Nordic, man. They Nordic. Vikings are Nordic people. Yeah.
But you said they founded.
Scandinavian.
Too,
Hey,
but
look.
you saying here that Chinese was the ones that came over.
Huh?
Over here, they're
Somebody.
saying the Chinese came over.
Yeah, they did come through the Bering Straits. The Chinese came, but that was before the 1400s. That was way before the 1400s. But how can the Vikings found America when you had the Moors with what was Master Musa and them came over here? What time period they came over here from Mali? You know what? I can Google this. I can just show it. But I know the Vikings didn't find they didn't find this area. You can't. They didn't find it because the Egyptians was coming here way before 1400s. That's why the who was it? The Aztecs, the pyramids
But yeah,
down there.
the Indians here too. So
And the Indians is what they named them. You know, the Indians is a European name. That's a colonizer name. They never
not the
called
name,
it.
but like the people that was here before.
Hey, Nabat, it's Nabat up here. He gone.
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
You want to hop in?
What was the last point?
Talking about the Vikings founded America.
I found it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying they came here.
yeah. They were here, you know, but they definitely didn't found they definitely didn't found America. But yeah, you know, what's
No, I'll just share my. I'm gonna pull it up.
yeah, we could. I mean, we could discuss that if that's what y'all want to go into.
Yeah, going into it real fast. Hold. Oh man. Yeah, you can go into it for a minute. I'm gonna pull some up. I'm gonna pull some up real fast, man.
Hey, Hilton, is the Vikings your people, man? Is that your culture? You proud of their culture?
I don't know nothing about them.
Okay. You consider yourself a patriot though, right? American patriot, right?
Redskin.
Well, I'm a Redskin fan too. We ain't talking about that.
Oh, just a Virginian.
Okay.
I'm a native
Okay.
Suffolkian.
Okay. The bot, break it down, the bot.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's the question. What do we bring it down? Because
So I was telling him that the Vikings.
it's a fact. Yeah, it's a we know that the original people of this land were the are recorded. I won't say original people, but the original civilizations go back to the Olmecs, and even predating them. But the Olmec civilization is the oldest civilization on record on this continent, and they go back to you know, pretty much Mexico and the southwestern and southeastern regions, South America. So we know that you know, and when we speak about the Olmec, we're referring to people who came over from the land of Nubia in Ethiopia. And they traveled. So you know, we're talking about Ethiopians, Africans who traveled over thousands of years ago.
Mansa Musa and them came in the 14th century.
Right. That's the same. That's because they were family. They were coming from the same land. Trade between Ethiopia and Meroe.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, our brothers that were here who were already established in their original civilizations. Then you had people coming over from China during like the Ho Shin dynasty.
And they mixed in with the Olmec, who were the descendants again of these Ethiopians, and they produced the people that we now look at, when we say Mexicans. So Mexicans are basically a product of a mixture between Chinese, migrants, and the original inhabitants, which were Africans. And
And
then you had
Spanish
Southeast
too,
Indians.
right?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Then you had the Southeast Indians who came over and mixed in with them as well and produced even further mixed tribes. And this is where you get all of the so-called Native American tribes, like the Cherokee and other light-skinned, lighter tribes, mixed tribes that being populated in the early Americas. All of this was happening way before the Vikings. You see what I'm saying? But we know that they definitely also traveled over, so that's a fact. Mm-hmm.
And then you can look at the Mississippians. They say they never left. They say they never came. They've been here forever.
Right.
If you look into their culture, because they was the mound builders.
That's us. That's talking about the Yamasee tribe. When you say the Mississippians, when you say Mrs., that's like saying Yamasee. When you say Yamasee is a word that means gentle people. And those were the original descendants of the Olmecs who had migrated. That's why I was saying to the southwest regions like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and they produced even more tribes like the Seminole, the Washita. You see what I'm saying? And also you had tribes that traveled over into Puerto Rico, descendants of ours, and became known as Taino. Those were still dark-skinned tribes, descendants of the Olmecs. You see what I'm saying? But migration had taken place because of a lot of wars that was, was taking place because of these mixed seeds that was being produced, these mixed tribes that was being produced from other cultures coming from different parts of the world who had different ways of life, like the Mayans. You go into Mayan culture, it's a mixture of Olmec culture and Chinese culture. And this is why they was performing things like a lot of burnt sacrifices, sacrificing children, women, and things like virgins, all of that, because it was foreign cultures that was mixed in. And this is why they left. This is why Mayan culture, they say the Mayans disappeared. They didn't just disappear, they were literally kicked out by our ancestors, the Olmecs. Because those were their ancestors. They say, y'all gotta go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can get more into it,
I think it's neat when you see the people in the Caribbean. That's where you see you really get to see where people come from.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. And they'll tell you, their history and their ancestry. So
I had to talk to like some Dominicans, some Haitians, and you don't see unless you go there. Then you see, okay, so these people look like me because they were slaves too, and they kicked the French out. Or you go to the other side of the island, and they all light skinned because they let the Spanish people stay there, and they mixed in. You
So
go to
man, you
other
know some
islands,
history, brother. Hold on.
Puerto Rico, and
Where you go wrong?
go to Puerto Rico, most people light
What that
skinned,
happened?
they Spanish and slaves and Indians.
What that happened, man? You know some stuff. What that happened to you? Tell me your story, man. What's your name again?
Hilton.
Tell me your story. What happened, brother? What's your story?
he's my what happened.
I'm just I'm a Cancer. Man. I don't do conflict as a general rule.
Me either. I believe in building, not destroying. So I'm with you there. I'm with you there all day on that, brother. So what happened? Something had to happen. What happened? Well, you said you moved to Virginia. Where was you before Virginia?
No, I've been in Virginia. I've been in different parts of Virginia.
Oh, different parts.
I think when I went to college, I was in this town that was 99% white.
Oh, you was in college.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to ask you.
That's where
What
I
did
saw.
you
That's why I
what
saw
you
how
go
the
to
rest of
school
the
for?
world lives, and I was like, oh, this is different.
There we go. So
'Cause at
there,
first I was like, white people didn't exist.
there go your breaking point. College that was done.
That's what I wanted to ask you. What type of focuses like I understand like you had to take certain history classes. Like what type of did you do like certain focuses in your classes where you had to focus on certain historical backgrounds, you had to do research on certain things? And then
I
like my
mostly,
question would be, yeah, go ahead.
I did like I started out doing computer science and then ended up switching over to political science.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So you did independent research is why why you was in college you did like research on the history, American history, things like that.
so the bad thing is I don't really like the broad history. I like the local history. So I did like we had a guy that was he's the expert. He wrote that book, What Would Jesus Do? And he's the expert on Thomas Jefferson. And he was my professor. So I studied like Virginian history. Another guy was like a Civil War guy from Suffolk. So I saw the Civil War part, but I'm not really a history person like that. I was mostly focused on like law and math and computers.
Mm, okay. Yeah, I mean, I say, you know, you definitely got to get into the history, because like the brother was saying earlier about just about the police, for example, that was started as a slave patrol, you know, just the origin of policing itself. I'm not going to say a particular police department or anything like that.
See, I done
Just
had my run-ins with the law, and I'm just like, man, I done messed up. And then I'm mad, but I can't do nothing. And then eventually got a lawyer, got out of it.
okay. So you said you have had these situations as well yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you look at it as an isolated event, or do you think that it's part of like a systematic, a system, or even just a mindset that kind of breeds officers like that? Do you think that that's a part of it?
I see it like it's bad people everywhere. And some of them happen to be cops.
Right. So what do you think we should do in light of that? Being the case, you have judges like you just because you what you're saying is what we agree with. You have judges, you know what I'm saying, so-called racist people, and are putting our people in prison. You know what I mean? So-called prosecutors, you have police murdering our people on the streets. You know what I mean? You have banks, people at banks denying our people for loans so we can't move into so it's a whole system. Do you think that what do you think that we should do in light of that?
So I try to protect my people and do what I have to do to avoid all the conflict and everything else. There are people out there working on it. It's not that's above my pay grade.
Right. And what about like the vaccine? Because they creating vaccines that specifically target um African and African American DNA. Like they did certain studies that the flu vaccines and a lot of the vaccines that are given to babies happen to be proportionally more detrimental to Africans and African Americans because they did the studies, where they found that autism, and like a whole host of genetic deficiencies and diseases being developed from vaccines specifically targeting African Americans. Now, whether we want to say that it was deliberately done or not, you know what I'm saying? Or it's just like what do you think that we should do in light of these type? Because what you're saying is it's above your pay grade, but what we're trying to say is that you know it's a whole system that's attacking our people. You know what I mean? And if we don't collectively look at this as a collective problem, then it makes it that much harder. You see what I'm saying? To address it, to where situations like what you experience continues to happen because you have so many of us looking at it as an isolated event rather than putting the pieces to the puzzle together and seeing that this is historically, you see what I'm saying, like a system that's been, that's been attacking our people, and we need to respond to this collectively. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying as far as, you know, there are bad people that's definitely going to get, but what I'm saying is though we need to organize and do something about this, because it seems to be affecting us and our people more proportionately than others. You know what I mean? And if we just continue to look at it the way we're looking at it as isolated events, then nothing will change. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What y'all think about that?
I think we're in agreement, man.
You did right. You did right.
I think we really all in agreement, man. I used to be like him, man. I wanted to, we are the world. We are the children. Can we all get along? That was me. But we can all get along once we weed out the bad apples. But historically, it ain't never happened. No matter what time frame you look at. So I don't want to seem like I'm a racist, because I'm not a racist, but I love my people. I'm very pro-Black, and I'm unapologetic about it. So I may sound like I am, but I'm not. I just love my people. And I think, Hilton, you come to the show more often, man. I'm a Republican too. I'm pro-Trump all day, every day. I ain't pro. You know what? Shit, to be real, to be real though, I ain't mad at Trump. Trump fighting a different war. Trump at war with the people that Kennedy was at war with. They got killed. They killed Kennedy. So
Right.
Trump fighting too. So don't get it twisted. I know about what Trump doing. So I don't see all the smoke and mirrors. Because I know that he after that pedophile ring, and I hope he bring the motherfuckers down. I don't care who a part of them. So I ain't all mad at him. You get what I'm saying?
I don't have no problem with no politician. I just have a problem with the things, some of them, like some of the things they do.
Well,
Like the stuff they do that's good is cool. I just don't like when they do stuff that I don't like. Other than that,
that's the thing with politicians in general. That's what we're trying to tell you. The whole system is once you understand that it's everything, man. This thing, man, every part of this system is meant and it's working the way it's supposed to work. The mass incarceration, the school to jail pipeline, all this stuff is working the way it was meant to work. That's why most Black people renting, don't own houses. You
I'm
think
trying to
that's
get out of that right now.
I mean, do you think that that's because we choose? Black people don't want to buy a house?
I did choose.
I mean,
I did kind of choose because I didn't know where I was gonna be working at, so I didn't want to settle down anywhere. But I'm probably 2 or 3 months away from buying a house now.
But that's young. That's when you young. You get what I'm saying? When you young, you have them choices. But I'm saying older people that's been working all their lives, you don't think that they want to, like, come on, man. People want stuff. Black people want the good things that they consider is good according to this system, like every other race of people want. We want it. You get what I'm saying? But you gotta understand that it's a handicapped race. So not making excuses, not saying, well, since it's a handicapped race, we can't fight the fight. Yeah, we're gonna fight the fight. But what I'm saying is we fighting and you got a loaded deck. You know what I'm saying? The other team, they loaded. You know what I'm saying? They got a loaded deck. They using wild cards and everything. We gotta play straight. We ain't got no wilds. You play poker, people come with all these different rules with poker where, yeah, man, we gonna make the 2 card, the 6 are wild, then you got the deuces wild. And but we as Black people, we gotta play it straight 5 cards, no wilds, no nothing. But the team that we playing against, they got wilds and everything. It's not a fair game. But we gonna play the card that's dealt. But it's gonna be hard for us to win
I seen some
because the
pretty
way the
positive
cards are
stuff too,
dealt.
though.
Huh?
I seen some pretty positive stuff too, though. Like, so my daddy was from high school dropout, went in the military, came out. My mom barely graduated high school. So now all three of us kids all graduated college. Sister has a master's. Brother has a master's. Sister owns her own medical practice. Brother works for the Navy. I work for NASA on a team with a white lady as a supervisor, three black guys, one Filipino guy, one white guy. It's like a lot of positive stuff can happen too. Like, we come a long way out of nothing.
Yeah, and I commend y'all, brother. I commend y'all, and I don't want you to believe that I'm saying that it can't, that it's like it can happen. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, y'all. Shit. Oh, what I done do? Oh, hold y'all gotta bear with me. I'm trying to invite somebody that's in the chat, man. So y'all give me a second. But yeah, it can happen, man. You get what I'm saying? But the thing of it is can all of us get this to that point? Do you think the system is set up that we all gonna have that opportunity? Or do you think just like the NBA and everybody ain't gonna make it to the NBA?
So I think two of us took the long way to get there too. Like my sister, she went through every kind of, I'm going to college for this, I'm going to beauty school, everything before she decided to try to be a nurse. Me, I got in trouble, got a mark on my record, so it took 10 years to get started in this career path. So
Yeah, cause I remember Hilton back in Walmart days. Boy, you lived in 211 back in the day.
yep.
Was it drinking and driving?
Oh, we was doing I can't talk about it.
I know, man. I know. Hey, I work with you in Walmart, man. We bust our tail, man. I know you could do the heart, man. You know what I'm saying? You could do the heart, and you know, I remember your sister's working at Walmart back in the day. And she
You
got good
remember
head on shoulders too. Yeah,
you remember old Melvin, right?
yeah,
Melvin Midell.
yeah.
Yeah, we did some stuff that we shouldn't have been doing back then.
Oh yeah, my dad, man, for Alabama, man. Yeah, he cool, man. What he doing there?
I
Brother
think he,
Madell?
he got like a he got like a murder charge back then. I don't think he ever getting out.
Oh man, damn. Yeah, we were corrupt back then, man. We were wide open back then, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you feel about reparations, man? You think we deserve reparations?
I'm an opportunist. If we get it, I'll take it.
How do your friends feel about reparations?
So it seems like most of them for it. They just don't see how it can work, the money part of it. But
Handout,
now,
don't like handout, right? A handout, right?
but now I'm like, well, if they can print money to make people stay home, print
Exactly.
money for anything.
Hey, that's that, and that's the scary part about this whole situation. Hey, Jordan X, I sent you the link. So if you're still watching, brother, or any of y'all that's watching, the five of y'all that's watching, the link is in the chat. If y'all want to join, you hit the link and you come on in and just make sure you mute your mic when you come in, and we allow y'all to y'all get in the conversation if you want to. Y'all can go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting y'all off.
Okay, so you cool with reparations, man. We deserve it, right? It ain't whatever. We deserve it, right? In your heart, you know we deserve it, right? That's how you feel.
I'll take it.
Okay. I know some of your friends probably like as a handout, right? The
Uh,
government will
just
control
like
you,
that,
right?
people talking about not taking that stimulus check because it's a handout. I will take free money. I don't care.
You know, the thing with reparations is we deserve it, and they should give it to us. They should have been gave it to us. Well, you know, I
It's
think
old
we
to us.
I think we have the opportunity now to create our own reparations. And the advent of the internet has made it so it don't matter what your race is. All that matters is if you have a product or a good or a service that I need, and I can put it in front of you, and you can possibly buy it or get it, because you don't have to show people your face or who you are. You know, the internet has made it so that we can actually try to create our own businesses without race being a factor. Um, but as long as you have Mark Zuckerberg and I don't know who on Twitter and all of them that's still finding ways to silence black people on these platforms, you know, it's still you see racism still stick its head out, man. Like it's ingrained and it's for their survival, not ours. We don't have to practice racism as African Americans to survive. We're gonna be here anyway. But they have to for their survival, not for ours. So but now it's time to get the solutions. I see you say you can't see the link. Um um let me see. I'm gonna send this link again. So you can't see the link. All right, Jordan. Here we go again. I sent it again. BMAC is the one who sent the link, not NCRBGZ Productions. It's BMAC. Look at BMAC. He sent the link. But let's get the solutions, family. Um, well, the link is disappearing. We want to deal with some solutions, get to the solution aspect of this as far as with the rioting and the looting. What do y'all see as some solutions? So the next time, I'm gonna just say it like this. I'm okay with the burning this shit down. I'm okay with it. I'm actually okay with multiple cities rioting and looting at the same time. I'm okay with that. Me personally, I think that's the only way to get their attention. I think that's the only way that but that I think that's one of the ways that they can hear us because you know violence and rioting and looting is the cry of help for those. It's a cry of help for those that feel like they're voiceless. They
Can I
feel
drop
like
the
that,
quote?
huh?
Can I drop the quote?
Yeah, go ahead.
Martin Luther King said that violence and riots are the results of unheard voices.
There you go. See the brother, man. You coming on? You coming on back home, Hilton? Don't worry, you'll be back home soon. Now you got to bring him on the show more often. Now I think this brother he got potential, man. I see
Oh yeah,
potential in you, Bill. I see
Tavares, man.
potential in you, and you shoot guns too, don't you?
Hilton, man, Tavares, Tavares is his middle name, man. He's a good dude, man. He's very intelligent, man. Definitely
Hey,
intelligent.
Hilton, you
He's been
shoot
influenced.
guns? You shoot guns and stuff? You like shooting guns and stuff?
Nah,
Oh, okay. So you don't.
I don't have the right.
Oh, you got a felony like me?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
supposedly I can go to court now. I
You
just
got a
got
non. It's non-violent. Is it a
yeah,
non-violent?
yeah.
If it's a non-violent one, you can and I think it's been over 15. I think I don't know what Virginia laws is. In North Carolina, it has to been over 15 or 20 years. The felony has to be 15 or 20 years, and it has to be nonviolent, and you can't have any other nonviolent charges up there.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a valid felon, but he was able to get his back. So I'm pretty sure I just got to pay the lawyer and do the work.
Yeah. But I think Jordan, I don't know, brother. I don't know why it ain't. I don't know what's going on. But I put it in the chat. Um, put your email in the chat, Jordan, and I'll send it to your email. But yeah, family. Solutions. I say everybody need to get guns. Everybody need to stock up on food and water.
About land.
Land, yeah. Prepare yourself for possibility of the lights going out, no power, no help from the government. It may get a little bit worse. I do feel like solidarity in the different protests around the United States. I think it's going to be more tomorrow. I think that this is going to become the new norm, wherein when somebody is killed and if people feel like it's not justified, that it's going to be rioting. And because listen, man, you can protest all you want to. Protesting don't do nothing. Walking up and down the street, you ain't wasting time. You ain't protest, you wasting time, man. Impeding traffic and all that mess. That's just that ain't how you get respect. You gotta take respect. These people don't honor that bull crap. I got you, Jordan. I'm gonna send it to you. They don't honor that bull crap. They don't honor no begging for acceptance or begging. No, you don't beg for that. We take. Yeah, God damn it. This is the American way. We're just doing what our forefathers did. You take. You don't ask for nothing. And I think that's what we gotta do. We gotta take back respect, man. And that's just my personal opinion. Shit. You gotta take this shit. Fuck all that.
Master you in the building.
Yeah, I'm here.
Want to add on?
I mean, only way to solve it, man, is to be ready. Be ready. Be active. Have a plan. The people out there that's tearing stuff up. Hey, that's what they do. That's what they do. Go out there and tear it up. Tear it up. Tear it up. Get in. But after all this, there got to be some type of plan, man. So, black people just as a collective have to stick together and have to support each other. When these companies when these companies don't like black people, stop going. These companies got when these companies have these little ads out. What was it? H&M had that ad with the black baby, and people. Then you got all the black people going back to H&M buying clothes. Don't do that stuff. Stop buying there. When these people move into your neighborhoods and they don't respect black women, black kids, none of that stuff. They don't invest in your community, whatever it is. Cut that stuff off. Your dollars has to make sense. I'm talking about mental sense. So put them dollars to work. Anytime these police officers do something in the neighborhood, everybody don't sit back and watch. Yeah, don't sit by and watch. It's when these little young kids get their head beat in for no particular reason. Y'all do something about that. Step in and do something about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to throw no cop off no roof. That's not what I'm saying. But there's things you can do to make sure things are done accordingly. You get what I'm saying? There's things you can do to make things done accordingly. Like for example, how sometimes you see like in the wild, there'd be like a wildebeest and a lion trying to eat the wildebeest, but you'll have a couple of wildebeest stand in front of that lion. And what the lion will do, the lion will back down because he can't get through that wall. And the lion knows if he press forward, the wildebeest, they gonna lay hands on him. they're gonna lay hands on them. And so you get what I'm saying. And so people have to understand and know, man, like, look, these people ain't no soft lay down type people. This is not the type of people that we dealing with. And when people understand and know that, man, then things change for you. As long as you pass them, you got like a sign. You write a note on your sign saying all this type of stuff, man. People don't care about that. If somebody outside my door with a picket fence, I don't care. You ain't doing nothing. All you doing out there with a piece of wood and a sheet of paper. They ain't doing nothing to me. No, but if I start losing your money, you get what I'm saying? If I start losing your money, and I understand if I come and do certain things, that there will be repercussions to what is being done to you, then that make things. I keep going back to what Dick Gregory said. Dick Gregory, all praise be to the ancestor, man. He said all cops should have insurance on them. He said, insure the police, insure them. You get what I'm saying? And so, like, I think things like that would definitely change the tide, man. If a cop out here kills one of these black men, these black women or black kids unjustly, their whole entire pension should go to the family that they killed. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about your whole pension. You lost your job, you go into jail, and whatever pension you got is going to that family. Your family won't get it. If you start doing stuff like that, all that junk could change. Because them wives at home, them husbands at home, gonna be like, no, you better not go out there and do that because you messing up my money. Again, like Dick Gregory said, is your hate for me greater than the love you have for your wife, for your kids, for your sister and your brother? And you will find out that 9 times out of 10, it ain't. So we need to make sure we had these. We need to make sure we had these things in place. We have to make sure that our neighborhoods are safe. Stop depending on other people to make sure our neighborhoods are safe. We have to do these things first. We have to do that. Ain't nobody gonna save black people but black people, and that's point blank. Period. Who did Jesus come to save? They don't talk about it. Did Jesus come to save everybody? Or did Jesus come to save a select group of people? And then
Good
what
question.
Paul did? Paul said, talking about grafting people in. Am I wrong? That's what Paul said.
Paul was
right?
talking to the Romans and Greeks. He wasn't talking to us.
Paul was grafting all these other people in. But when Jesus came for his people. Let me get my people. Let me get these people straight. Then after him, you had your other people who came and did whatever they did. That's all I'm saying. So we are the ones that's gonna save us, not nobody else. And that ain't no disrespect for anybody that's trying to help us. There's no disrespect to that. You know what I'm saying? I know about the freedom fighters, etc. I know about all that type of stuff. There's no disrespect to them. But there is no, and thank you for all the support. But nobody's gonna save black people but black people. Period. You just not. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna save black people because you can help, but you're not gonna save them. You're not gonna save them. So, yep. Yeah, that's my piece.
Yeah, why do you feel, Hilton? You think Jesus to answer everything? I mean, we ain't gonna knock you, man. We ain't gonna knock you down. You believe that's
I'm
the religion?
I'm only here for hopefully another 30, 40 years. This life is like a wisp of smoke. It's short. It's not the main point.
Yeah, we ain't gonna beat the brother up on religion tonight. We're calling in on another show about religion. I don't think it's right to jump on religion. Yeah, not tonight.
Oh no.
But
because I see Jesus in the right way, man. You're all right, but it's okay. We're not gonna do it tonight.
But solutions.
Yeah, man. So, like I was saying, man, our only solution that we have, that we haven't done yet is live of, for, and by each other. You know what I mean? And that means having our own land, our own nation, our own government, our own police force where we police ourselves, our own stores. And in order for us to have these things, we're really going to have to come together and bring our resources, which we already have, together. You see what I'm saying? To organize and bring these things together. So we already have, people. We have lawyers, we have doctors, we have you know government officials who understand how to run cities. You see what I'm saying? We have mayors. We have all of these things. We just need to organize our people. You see what I'm saying? So that we could, whether it's, and I'm not saying going back to Africa. I'm not saying that everybody should make one central move. because that's not, that's, everything, my mindset is following, the direction of our master teacher, because, what he has taught us and what he has given us has opened up the opportunity for whether you're of Native American descendancy or whether you're of African descendancy or, the Trinidad, the islands, the Caribbeans, wherever you're from, to be able to stand up for yourself and liberate yourself. Like you said, nobody is coming for us. You see what I'm saying? There's no one individual that's going to do this. But like he wrote in a book, he told us that, every race should have its own culture, tongue, music, food, dress, right? Its own territory where they can practice their own way of life, respecting all others' right to do the same, right? So China has that. India has that. You know what I mean? The Europeans have that. We need that of our own. And even on the African continent, they have the territory, but the tongue has been stripped. You see what I'm saying? The food has been stripped in many places. You know what I mean? They're shipping food international from outside into the African continent to feed our people. You see what I'm saying? Rather than our people living up for and by each other. So I'm just saying, wherever you are, wherever we are, we need to unify. You see what I'm saying? We need to really bring our minds together, the leaders amongst us, to really sit down and formulate um a nation, a government, so that we could go and negotiate with the United States, negotiate with Europe, negotiate with these nations that have been oppressing our people, and actually be able to sit down to be able to receive these funds, because that's a big discrepancy. Reparations are only can only take place between one sovereign nation to another sovereign nation. You see what I'm saying? That it's injuries to a nation. That's what reparations are. Reparations are considered to be repairments for an injury to another sovereign nation, which is a group of people who have land, a territory to which they belong to, a defined population. Once we gather our people together, find out how many of us there is, and I'm talking about all of us in the islands, right, in America, and we define what our territories are. In Haiti, that's our territory. Trinidad's our territory. You see what I'm saying? And we really define what this is, and actually put on the table the damage on the international level. You see what I'm saying? Then the nations of the world will be able to calculate and say, we owe them reparations to this sovereign, this people. You see what I'm saying? Who have had the damage. Until we start looking at it like that, and we continue to bathe, you see what I'm saying? This nation, this United States, this corporation, to give us justice, while we're just a subject of theirs, who they have a say so, we won't get any true justice. So I know I'm long with it. I know I am. You know what I mean? But that's why I wanted to go last. The solution is for us to really gather our resources together and start working towards getting our own, like I said, gather the leaders together so we can sit down at the table and get the reparations that we need to push our people forward. That's it.
And that's all I agree. Well, how I stand on solutions, brother in the bot just said everything and more that I was that would would come to my mind. Simple as that. That's how I feel. I got one question. Why getting black together? How you feel?
Y'all hear that?
No, you breaking up, brother. You breaking up now.
I do know, like, I don't have solutions, but I think eventually time is gonna help a whole lot. Because if you look at it, 100 years from now, black people is all gonna look like Patrick Mahomes, because we all gonna be intermixed, and then a lot of this we all gonna be the same people by then, like 3 or 4 generations from now.
Ooh, you think so?
Yeah, some of these
Okay.
countries too, if you go to the Caribbean, it's like they don't have the right guidance. Like they're in charge. So here's the good example. You got the Cayman Islands and you got the Bahamas. The Caymans never kicked the British out. Their economy is all tourism and banks. You go to the Bahamas, they kick everybody out. It's run by the Bahamians, black people. They got the same tourism and banks, but they're just not as prosperous as the Caymans because they don't have good enough leadership there. Part of it. The other part is they on the leading edge. So whenever hurricanes come through every year, they get destroyed and then they rebuild. But it's crazy. If you go there, it's just like the Caymans. Every corner you go to, you see a bank. And they all about making sure Americans get treated right, because that's where all the money is coming from. And then you talk to the people, and their goal is to get to America. Like I talked to this one limousine driver, and he talked about was he was how glad he was he got his son in the military and he moved to America. It's a different world, kind of outside of America. A lot of the same problems, but it's just
Because of America.
different leadership. And then there's no security. So like if you go to the Bahamas or Jamaica or Haiti or Dominican Republic, you got to fend for yourself. The government don't take care of you. Like you can walk and somebody say, "Oh, he's a blackout dreads," and they snatch you up and put you in prison.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think like I said, I don't think everybody should leave America. I just think that because we have people that's from here, you know what I mean, and this is our land. We were the first here, so I don't under no circumstances do I think that we should all leave or we should just give up or nothing like that. I just think that we need to reclaim our territory, especially down in the South. Mississippi belongs to the Yamasee tribe. Louisiana belongs to the Washita, the Mound Builders. You know what I mean? We know these things, and what I'm saying is that we need to reorganize and take back what is ours, and then we need to move in that direction for our children because we're looking at where we are right now. We're not considering um, where our children will be in the next generation and in the generation after that, and what's happening like today and right now across the nation, just as a result of um, being intermingled into society, you know what I mean, in this system. Situations like black men are killed, and now it's like riots are taking place in multiple states. Things like that are going to continue to happen until black people have an outlet, a land, a territory where they can go to, you see what I'm saying, where, persecution and things like this don't take place. I'm not saying that, we should isolate ourselves, but, there should definitely be an outlet for those, what I mean, who are facing these type of persecutions to be able to go to their own territory, their own land, you know what I mean, where they can live for and by each other. And that's here on this continent, this American continent, whether it's, I don't know what needs to take place, but what I know is we need to organize and live of for and by each other. But as far as remaining inside of this system, working for them, allowing them to medicate our children, allowing them to educate our children, allowing them to feed our children and us, you see what I'm saying, and tell us what's the best for us. As long as we continue to allow those things to happen or to even attempt to change it by way of their system, we will continue to face the same persecutions and things that we're seeing. So that's pretty much what I had to say on that.
Sean, you still there? Sean. Wait, Sean's gone.
Yeah, I think I know Master, you said he had to dip out. So what I'm gonna do, man, I'm gonna give y'all brothers the opportunity to close out, and we'll do this another day. So y'all can unmute y'all mic and tell people where they can find you, how they can get in contact with you. And we're gonna close out and finish this off another day.
This is Neb Almond Ray, Facebook. It's a brother from Runaway. I enjoyed this show. It was great and very informative. Learned some things tonight. And that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Yeah, likewise, it's your brother in the back at Fafurier. Amunrier. It was definitely a good discussion tonight, man. We definitely heard some good viewpoints, all of which I think, had some good points. And like I just say, man, we just need to really come together. It's all about solidarity and unity. And look forward to the next discussion.
All right, and with that, we thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We see y'all at the next show. Peace and Black Power.
Peace.